Good evening, everybody. John here with FNP Wargamers. Sorry about the late start. I been feeling a little discombobulated the past couple days. I think these migraines and headaches and feeling run down and everything. Well, there might be something wrong, especially since I've been a little disoriented a lot lately. So I'm going to go in probably on Monday, get that checked out. But you're not here to talk about that. And you're certainly not here to listen about that. So what are we going to talk about? Man, I've got some things to pass on. Let me pull something up here just so I have it ready for you guys. Sorry, I'm running like about 32.679 seconds behind schedule. But just bear with me. As soon as I can get this little bit here, it probably looks a little crazy with that mouse bouncing back and forth. Thankfully, nobody has logged on yet, and there is a bit of a delay with the display or with our channel, so just perfect timing. So let's do this. Let's do this. All right, that is done. Hopefully that will work. All right, so we got some viewers on. Fantastic. I'm glad I let it delay just a little bit. So once again, my name is John. I'm with FNP Wargamers, and this is the FNP Evening Edition. Something we don't get to do all the time, but when we're able to, we will. Or I should say, when I'm able to, I will. What are we going to cover tonight? Well, a little bit about kind of a recap of some Blood of Baal stuff. We're going to cover a very juicy rumor that is coming up, and it's going to start gaining a lot of traction here, probably after the first of the year. But I'm going to wait till near the end of the show to leave that one for you. And then somewhere in between here, or at least after I cover a couple topics, I'm going to clear the air on a few things. I made a mistake on a video the other day on a stream, so I'm going to clear the air on that. And then I think that's it. So I'm pretty sure we can get right into it. What's going on, sir? So if you missed this morning, let me see if I could pull this up here. Probably not. I might have to add a whole bunch of images. Let's do this here. For those of you that missed the morning session and you didn't get a chance to see the character updates for Blood of Baal, and I don't know if anybody kind of figured this out, but I think if you get the special edition, that's at least what I'm gathering is going to happen. Sorry, I'm having to add these photos here because I've got my evening layout, so I apologize for that. If you are getting the special edition for Second Awakening 3, Blood of Baal, then you are going to be able to get some snazzy, oh dang it, I didn't want that one. Let's try that again. You're going to get some snazzy cards. Some nice cards just for the main characters in there. So this is just a real quick recap before I get on to a bit of an apology-ish. And then we're going to get into a little bit of something else. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop that juicy rumor. So first, if you missed it this morning, because I had to cut through really quick, hopefully you've had a chance to review all of this. And one thing I wanted to point out about the Blood of Baal is, as of right now, and we'll know more on the 24th, this is strictly Blood Angels and Tyranids. Strictly Blood Angels and Tyranids. Do we have 100% proof? No. Remember, until you have it in your hands or Games Workshop announce it, it is rumor. Even if we have something staring at us right in front of our face. So sorry about the screenshot there, the image. I just wanted to have as big as possible so you guys could take a look at it. It makes it a little easier for me to read. Now, is it possible that Necrons and Chaos Demons or Demons of Khorne could be in Blood of Baal? It's possible. I don't think so based on the product releases at that time. Right now, the only product we're seeing besides the book is Mephiston. We know he's a $40 miniature. We know now that he's a Primaris model. And we know that the Hive Tyrant and the Termagant Brood have been repackaged. They're the only Tyranid ones that have been repackaged, but they've been repackaged. Those are the only releases for anything related to Blood of Baal, except for a novel. And I think there's a novel coming out this weekend, like Hive Feet Behemoth, I think, or something like that. That's this weekend, I believe, or might be going on pre-order this weekend. So I'm just going to go through this real quick. I still believe, and if there's any tournament players that jump on or anything, or if you guys are really into the thick of playing competitively, you can chime in if I'm really misinterpreting this or if I'm way off the mark. I think out of the 3 characters that we've seen so far, Astaroth, however you say him, I'm just going to say Astaroth, is the biggest winner. We don't know how many points he is, but at a power level 6, probably 140, 150. I'm just kind of guessing there based on other characters. Bolt, who cares about his bolt pistol? I mean, it's rarely used. Most people forget to use the bolt pistol in the shooting phase after they've been in an assault phase the previous turn. So remember to do that. The Executioner Axe is decent. I don't like the random damage, the D3, but at +2 strength and -3 AP and D3 damage, which I think a 2 would be good. But considering that he has a special ability, if he rolls a 6 to wound, the damage characteristic is flat 3. So that does kind of, you didn't really miss anything, Denner. I'm just now talking about Astaroth. I think I already sent you the images before, so I'm just started. So I do have a juicy thing to talk about, but it'll be at the end of tonight's episode or tonight's stream. I don't know if I should be calling these episodes. We're going to call them episodes. So he has I think looks like all the normal abilities. The one I don't know is the Mass of Doom. That's where, it's like Catholic Mass or a big ceremony. And you roll 1d6 for each friendly Blood Angels infantry unit within 6 inches. And for that turn, they will either going to take a mortal wound, or they're going to get +1 to hit rolls with melee weapons that turn. And then if you roll the 6, Vessel Sanguineous, so you get that +1 to hit roll and a 4-up invulnerable save for everybody that was in that 6 or that managed to roll that. So not everybody's going to have the same thing, but that is not a bad idea, especially if you got a bunch of Smash Captains, or you've got Death Company, and you're about ready to go your big assault. You're about ready to blow your wad. This might be ideal for popping at that point in time. The other thing he has is not only the Litany of Hate, but 3 other litanies for a total of 4, in which he can do 2 at a time. He, I think, is the only one right now that has the most litanies. He's like super Reclusiarch. I think he's got more than Grimaldus and more than Cassius. And I'm pretty sure that more than Chaplain or High Chaplain Aquinas from the Forge World, the Minotaur's chapter, the Minotaur's character, that awesome like hoplite helmet with a skull in the middle. So I think right now Astaroth is the man when it comes to that. Very good, very solid. I think he is going to definitely see some play, especially if you're just those competitive lists that are running Smash Captains. This guy could be a nice boost to have near you. And if you're running Death Company, another boost. So, but if you're short on points, you might not want him. Now, Mephiston, I'm still happy about Mephiston. Looks like he had gotten another wound and another attack. And he's got that 5-up Feel No Pain, basically. This is Lord of Death rule, so it's not Feel No Pain. But no invulnerable save. So, yes, I agree, Denner. He is kind of meh. But I think he could be an asset. He is definitely an asset. It's going to come down to his points. Nothing else is really big there, except the fact that he's Primaris. He's got some awesome extra psychic powers that he can pull from. 3 total powers from the Sanguinary discipline. At power level 8, Denner, I'm pretty sure he's under 200, but he's probably pushing the 150 to 160 range is my bet. That's my bet. With a power level of 8, I'm just kind of guessing there, but I think it's going to be about 150 points, maybe a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if he was 175. Plasma pistol. The only thing I'm kind of upset about is his sword. I love that it's ×2 damage, -3 AP, and the D3 damage, once again, just like Astaroth, he should be like a base 2 damage. A base 2 damage, or give it the Force Sword ability, which I think caused a mortal wound on a 6 roll, a D6 roll, a 6 on a to wound roll of D6. So I don't know. The last one, I saved him for last. The Martys. If you're running Death Company, it might be good to have, but he doesn't have a lot of special abilities. He knows 3 total litanies, Litany of Hate and 2 others, and he can only do 1 litany. So, This guy is definitely meh. But you might find use for him. At power level 5, he might be a nice bargain character to toss in, especially that 4-up save, the +2 strength and -2 AP. Once again, D3 damage. I mean, these guys are heroes of the chapter. I don't know why they don't have upgraded awesome weapons. Yeah, they're named weapons, but I feel like they should probably have a special name. I don't know. You tell me. I mean, not a special name, but a slightly increased ability. That's just me. I don't know. I personally would pay some extra points for an upgraded weapon like the Blood Crozius, or having Viturus being upgraded. I would pay the extra points for it because it would at least be a little bit more viable. I'm not saying that these guys are not viable. I'm just saying that there might be cheaper choices out there. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to rush out and buy myself a Mephiston model and paint him up, but, well, I don't play Blood Angels, so I'm probably not going to dip into it, but I would definitely consider it. So, yeah, Smash Captains are are a much better choice over them. I can see, though, Astaroth, having Astaroth in there, and if you like Denner just said, having a Slaplin, which is another version of a Smash Captain. So I don't know. So before I get into, actually, I have 2 solid-ish rumors to talk about, juicy rumors. Let me dive into something. I'm not going to cover the sorcerers. You guys have had all day to talk about it. I am somewhat excited about this model. It's a little too clunky for me, but it's definitely the aesthetics of this new Chaos Space Marine sorcerer. I do like it. I can't really argue too much about it. I feel like he's a little clunky. I like my model, or my miniature, especially my HQ models, unless they're in Terminator armor or something, to have a more of a fluid, more loose moving sense of movement to them. But I understand he's like a 1,200 pound 8 foot tall monster with psychic powers, so I think I can make some exemptions for it. So I'm going to leave this image up. So when I said earlier that I needed to issue an apology, I need to be very clear about this. A few days ago, and I'm very thankful that when I started saying, hey guys, make sure you jump on YouTube or in a chat here, jump on YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, and then in the chat, just throw something out there. Just chat. Just say something. We'll respond if we're able to, but it helps highlight the channel. So somebody took that idea or that suggestion, and they took it to the next degree. Totally good the way they did it, and they messaged the channel privately. Actually, 2 people messaged it privately. I think it might have been the same person. Now their wording, we had when they messaged us and Jonathan got a hold of it, he went ahead and took a look, and we talked about the video in question, and the description that was talked about by these individuals was a little off the mark, but the essence of what they said was true. I made a very bad video the other day. I was all over the place. I was stumbling over my words, and I was trying and this is where it really sucks doing a live stream, where I should have done this as a recorded video, which I'm going to do in the future. In my mind, I had envisioned essentially a TED Talk. If you're not familiar with those, check them out. They're really informative. They're really cool. But I wanted to do a TED Talk about player health and mental hygiene, player personal hygiene or physical hygiene, and the interconnectedness of it and how it relates to gaming. It came off really bad because I was all over the place. I didn't have my notes compiled, and I just went in and decided to try to wing it. Bad idea. So I did a show that was bad, and I'm going to apologize for the bad show, not the content or the intent of the show, because I'm going to continue to do that type of show, except it'll be a recorded one, much more professionally done, and where I can go in and edit, add in special effects, sound effects, laugh track, whatever, memes and whatnot, to where it'll have a much more impactful nature on the viewer instead of trying to go through this on a live stream. So I am apologizing not for the content, but the way I'm apologizing for the execution. You guys deserve better. I did you guys a disservice by putting out a crappy video or a crappy stream. So I apologize to you guys, and then that's it. I'm not going to go on any more about it. Watch for the future videos. So and one other thing, this is more clear in the air. As I said before many times, Jonathan, TJ, Ben, and Ski are taking a break. They've got school projects, personal life, work projects that are preoccupying their time, and my sad little life, I have none of that. So I get to be on the show all the time and pretty much just keep things going until they come in, they get back, and they're ready to go. We can tag out, they can run the show, I can go on a vacation to the Bahamas or something, which actually is just taking a day or two off and then jump back on the show. So just realize that. So it's a lot of information for me to cover just by myself. So I'm going to cover what I can when I can, and then if I miss something, you have my apologies, because there's a lot of gaming news out there, and I'm one man trying to cover it all, and I can only do 2 videos a day. So please forgive me if I don't cover everything, like Malifaux, if I don't cover Age of Sigmar, if I don't cover Marvel Crisis Protocol every day, or Warhammer 40,000 every day, because I'm going to do my best for you. I want to pass on the news, and when I give you guys the news, I'm going to give you the rumors, the leaks. I'm going to share my opinion, my analysis, my assumptions, and my predictions about the product and about what's coming out. So what does this all mean? Well, I've got some rumors to pass on. Are you ready for this? Is everybody ready for this? I'm going to take a drink because there's some stuff here. And thanks to Mike for posting this up and letting me read it. Now, I don't know where Mike got it from, but I'm not going to question it. So, it's rumors, and this is part 1 of what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. This is a rumor. So, if you guys, I see a whole bunch of people just jumped on. I have cleared the air about a number of things. If you need to go back and watch it, cool, go ahead. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. We're going to move forward. So, this is talking about the chapter approved. Treat it as a rumor. Treat it with a grain of salt. Remember, too much salt is sodium ion intoxication, and that is not good for you. So make sure you take this with just a little bit of salt, and make sure you hydrate, work out, and everything, and flush that salt out of your system, because it could be bad. Now, this is part 1 of what I'm going to review tonight, so I'm going to try to do this in about 4 or 5 minutes, and then I'm going to get on to the original juicy rumor that I want to talk about. So, chapter approved was, and this part is already acceptable knowledge. We know that when they start on books, any sort of book, they start about, mainly with codexes and stuff, about 18 months out. The chapter approved, my guess is about 12 months out. So after chapter approved last year drops, they're already to work on it, getting everything getting that stuff out there, getting everything prepped, and then send it off to the press probably about 6 months out, which would be August, right when the chaos, or not the chaos, but the Space Marine stuff was dropping out. Yeah, you might have seen this stuff on Reddit if this is what you're talking about. So, Chapter Proof was printed before the Codex supplements were made. Yes, but was it done before the Codex supplements were done? I don't know. So that's what this Reddit guy is talking about. The writers weren't in much contact with the supplement authors, which I don't know. I have a hard time believing because they do these meetings. When they're producing books, there's a lot of cross contamination, I guess, cross communication between everybody that works in relation to these books. So I have a hard time believing that because they are in the same building, the same office, and they try to cover all the same rules. The Chapter Approved guys, I imagine, like other supplement guys, like, hey, did you do this, Bob? No. Terry did that, but don't worry about it. It might be like that. GW was worried the supplements wouldn't make Marines good. I doubt that. I doubt that very much. I'm pretty sure they knew how good it was going to be because one or two of the Codex supplements being really good is one thing, but when all six and the main Codex are good, and even the Black Templar one that's coming out in Psychic Awakening 2 is still good. Might not be top tier, but it definitely took Black Templars from, are they still around? To, oh, I can see some cool combos there. I agree. And you guys need to understand, I am a true Space Marine player. I have built and painted, either for myself or commission work over the years, enough to do 2.5 chapters. Think about that number. That's how much I love Marines. I love Marines so much that I've tried other armies and I throw them away or give them away to other people, literally throw them away. And I just go right back to making Marines. I really love the Space Marines, especially the Primaris now, because as a hobbyist, it's so much more easy to deal with. So, Chapter Proof has a lot of Marine point drops, and this is probably something that might get an FAQ or an errata right afterwards. But keep in mind, if you were expecting that errata or FAQ to affect LVO, I don't know. It'll depend on how soon they get that out, especially if they're aware that the Codex supplements are very powerful. They are major upgrade to Space Marines. After all these years, it's a major upgrade. So they may or may not do a point adjustment afterwards. You'll get a free update sometime about 2 to 3 weeks afterwards. Whether that'll make it in time for Las Vegas Open, no idea. So just be aware that if you're going to Las Vegas, Marines are going to be dominant. They're going to be everywhere. It's going to be like about 2 or 3 years ago when there was Gillimans and Storm Ravens and Fire Raptors for miles. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's like 10% of the playing field was Gilliman and Fire Raptors and Storm Ravens. That was the big thing then. So that was about 2 years ago, I think. So 2018, 2017-ish. If you guys went to that and you remember, let me know. Put it in the chat. So, I don't know how to explain that part. I don't know what else to say about Space Marines. They're good, and rightfully so. From a business standpoint, from a lore standpoint, from a standpoint of them needing an upgrade for years, yeah, it's well deserved. I only hope that, not counting the Psychic Awakening 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, however many they're going to be putting out, hopefully not frickin' 20, because there's only 24 factions, that the new codexes, not the Psychic Awakenings, those are not codexes. Though you should just consider those as campaign source material that will be likely overridden when a codex drops. So, just like we saw with the Vigilus codexes, got overwritten when the new codexes, Space Marine codexes came out. So, yeah, you're going to have to wait a while for your codexes, especially you Xenos players and Chaos players. You're going to have to wait. Too bad. I'm sorry. That sucks that you'll have to wait a while. But you're going to have your day back in the sun. You're going to be back to being on top again. So just sit back, Enjoy the ride. Rage against the machine if you need to. Not the group, but the machine that is Space Marines. So, chapter approved also saying, now this is just rumor, remember that. Guardsmen and other 4-point infantry models are gonna go up to 5 points to match cultist. Makes sense. Tank commanders going up 20 points. Makes a little bit of sense since the field has just been full of it. I can see where they're trying to balance that out. Shield drones can't use their feel no pain on mortal wounds. That's interesting. Eldar -1 to hit strat capped at -2. Makes sense. I don't know if that was necessary, but makes sense. It makes sense. We see stuff like that happening all the time with stratagems, stacking, and how much are you going to cap at? Is you going to be at -9, or are you going to cap at like 2, 3, 4? Makes sense. Orcs are losing all units without models to the legend lines, but we already knew this. That totally makes sense. We knew that was going to happen, and I think most of those models that are in the Orc book are already covered as models, if that makes any sense. Games Workshop has been trying to only put in the codex the models that they have. You will lose some. Yeah, sorry, guys. But when your codex comes out, you won't have to worry about those old models anymore that are in Warhammer's Legends. You'll have new models to replace a lot of those. So just sit back and just breathe. You're not losing your 9 smash guns or track cannons or whatever they're called. You're not going to lose them. So don't worry. You're still going to have your Ludas. You're still going to have your Grots. You're fine. Just breathe. It's going to be stuff like Weird Boys that, maybe a named Weird Boy or something. I don't know. Cult Marines are going to go up those 2 wounds that we talked about. And we assume that they would either get a point bump up or down. It looks like they're saying it's going to be a point boost up. I don't know what the average Cult Marine price is, but if it goes up or goes up a couple points, I will understand it because Cult Marines already have a variety of special abilities. So when you take those if you take a Chaos Space Marine cult guy, like say Berserkers, and you put his special rules off to the side, and you look at him, and he has essentially the Angels of Death rule. I don't know what their version is, but they get the Shock Assault, the Bolter Drill, and everything, just like Primaris Marines. So Primaris Marines are sitting at I think an Intercessor sitting at 17 points, and then without any special abilities. And I don't know what the point is for the Cult Marines, but they have those same abilities that the Primaris Marines have, plus extra abilities. So before you get angry or upset, think about those extra points and abilities that everybody in that unit has. And that is where those extra points are really coming into play. Plus, you're paying for that extra wound. It's going to make sense. It's not. You're not going to like it, but it's going to make sense. See here, no points drops for regular Chaos Space Marines or Obliterators. So the regular Chaos Space Marine squads and Obliterators are going to stay the same. So that might upset a little people about the whole Obliterator fiasco that happened at the beginning of the year. Is it 115? Is it 95 or whatever? So there are no point changes. What they are is what they are. AdMech Canticles changes to require every unit in the army to be AdMech. No more Rusty 17. Is that... I'm not too familiar with that terminology, no more Rusty 17, but it sounds like Loyal 32. That's what that sounds like to me. So, hey man, we're at 30 minutes. We're doing pretty good. That's all I have right now for Chapter Approved. That is coming out. I believe it was on the... hopefully my screen did not just disappear. I have a date here somewhere. Chapter Approved. Oh, Chapter Approved is coming out the same weekend as Blood of Baal and Kill Team Annual, The Dark Harvest, Mephiston, repackaged Hive Tyrant, repackaged Termagant, and then all those awesome battle forces. All those amazing battle forces that are coming out for Age of Sigmar, Adeptus Titanicus, and Warhammer 40,000. They're all getting their bundles that same weekend. That's going to be a very expensive weekend. Oh, man. Blood of Baal. Oh, wow. That's going to be a crazy weekend. So, now that we're close to the end of the show, and I'm really upset that a couple people did not jump on, but they're just going to have to miss the rumor. All right, so rumor time. I said I would wait till the end, and we're at the end. This is going to be interesting. Brace yourselves. If you're not a Warhammer 40,000 player, this might not matter to you, but it could matter. I don't know. That's for you to decide. So, I've talked before that a new edition is very likely going to roll out next year. I've heard a little bit of whispering from decent sources. Mr. and Mrs. Smith have not copped to that. They have not talked about it, which leads me to believe that their silence is a little deafening. So that kind of tells me that there might be some truth to it. So is it a brand new edition? I think so. Here's our evidence, besides me asking about that. And then a couple other discussions I absolutely cannot share, because if I do, it could get somebody in trouble. Okay, thanks, Rusty. Thanks, Rusty. Thanks, Cartoff Bauer. I have no idea what your. Anyways, thank you, Cart. I appreciate that. I figured it was something like the Loyal 32. So back to the juicy rumor, and I mean, it's a solid rumor. Solid like Jello, like cool, like cold Jello. You just pulled it out of the refrigerator. It's jiggling. It's all jiggly and wiggly and wobbly. So it's got some substance to it. It's got some form. It's solid-ish, but it could fall apart at any time. So this is Jello level, and I think I'm going to work on these terminologies. I think I like this, where this is going. This is Jello level rumor. Let you figure that one out. So new edition next year for Warhammer 40,000. It will be summertime, definitely after the spring. What's our credibility, I guess you want, or what's the evidence? We don't have none, except some whispers from people like myself and a few other people on a Discord channel that we've kind of talked about it. We've seen some warning signs. The biggest warning sign that you guys can at least agree with is that Space Marines is the first of a new wave of codexes. And this is part of their new process that they will never, ever again put out codexes that don't have new or updated models in them. So, or not newer updated models, but models that are no longer on, that's going to be going to Warhammer Legends. All those old models, like the chaplain on a bike, those sort of things, they're not going to be doing that anymore. So the reason is because the ranges are too big, they're too large, so that's why they're streamlining the whole the shelf, John. The shelf is what you are looking for. I don't know what you meant, but yes, the shelf is what I'm looking for. Whatever. I'm sure I know what it is, but I'm just going. You now just disrupted my total chain of thought. Way to go, Denner. So, I guess maybe the models that are on the shelf. You were lost for words. Yes, I was. Thank you, though. So they're going to be moving forward, and it's just going to, as they move the models from the line, the current line, to Warhammer Legends, they're going to be inputting new ones. So orcs, this is where you're at, where you're sitting. Any of your models that are sitting over in the web store only, or direct sales only, or made to order only category, then those are going to not be in your next book unless they get a brand new model. That makes sense. So it's them pretty much revising the line. And I'm still saying that obviously tactical Marines or regular Marines, not Primaris, regular Marines are going to be here for a while. I still said 5 to 10 years from their inception. And so we're now 2 years into it. So we've got another 3 to 7 years to go. I think they're going to be out in probably about 3 years. If their new edition drops next year, then probably 3 to 5 years after that. There'll be no more regular Space Marines. They'll get, once you see like a tactical squad or a Devastator squad or something like that, move to web store only. You will have your proof, because that's where the dead models go. So that this new codex is going to set the precedence for the next edition. This is setting an example of what is coming. The Psychic Awakening is a very clever way for them to launch the next edition, because they are just like they did the Wrath of Magnus, the Fall of Fenris, or whatever it was called. All those books right there with the brand new model kits, the 3-packs, like the Triumvirate of the Primarch or whatever, and the one with all the Saint Celestine and the freaking what are those called? The Inari, those boxes and those book sets. Excuse me. Those were closing out the chapter of that whole storyline for like 30 years, 20 some odd years at that point. I'm sorry, about 25 years at that point. That is closing out that chapter, so essentially. And then 8th edition rolls around, and here we are, the Indomitus Crusade, and we've been pushing the narrative this year about, or later this year, or just recently, that the Indomitus Crusade is winding down. I don't know why I'm doing this motion, but it's winding down, and we're moving into a new era. And the Psychic Awakening is happening to help pretty much push the narrative forward. So next year, when the Psychic Awakening is either done or right near at its climax, because the big payoff is not going to be, we won't see the big payoff until later next year, probably late summer, probably right after this book drops, or the new edition drops, which could be July, August. So this is carrying that narrative forward. We're going to move forward about 200 to 300 years, because we're already at like the 150 year mark past the return of Gilliman. So we're going to move forward another 150 to 200 years, and this Psychic Awakening is setting things up for the new edition of the game. Now, is this the juicy rumor? Ish. It's ish. This plays into the rumor that I had. If you will take a look at Warcry, not Aeronautica Imperialis yet. Warcry, you'll take a look at Adeptus Titanicus, Kill Team, Underworlds, and AOS, Age of Sigmar. All of them have full functioning tournament rules. They have tournament rules. Let that sink in. Tournament rules. Adeptus Aeronautica Imperialis is just new, and they have not tackled that yet, but it's coming. They're already testing the rules right now in a couple live events at Warhammer World in the UK. So it's only a matter of time before that organized play drops. And look how it took like about 4 or 5 months for Warcry to get their first organized play kits. When you see the Aeronautica Imperialis get their organized play kit, this is now the last, I would say, that is more confirmation that Warhammer 40,000, and this is coming from a very, I would say, definitely a reliable source. I'm putting it in about the 60 to 70% range. That's why I'm saying Jello. Maybe with some of that fruit in there. You got some grapes and green grapes in there. You've got maybe peach chunks and pineapples in there. So it's definitely a little bit more solid. It's got some weight to it. Got some nice flavor. That, man, I'm hungry now. I'm going to have to get something to eat. That is kind of, when you see that, that's going to be pretty much the last nail in the coffin, I guess, maybe. I don't think that's the right term, but that's one of the last little signifiers that it's true. Warhammer 40,000 next year with this next edition, and it might have to wait until chapter approved. 2020 drops, or 2021, I guess it would be. I don't know I forget how they do the numbering, but when that next year's chapter approved drop is when it'll probably be in there, if it is not in the initial launch of the rules. The reason why I say that it'll be after is because they want people to get familiar with the new rules. They want people to settle in, get more comfortable, because a lot of books, codexes, everything's going to be dropping this next year or two. And so they might wait, just like all these other games, with the exception of Kill Team and Underworlds, wait for a while for the rules to kind of get out there, people get comfortable with it, and then, hey, here's your full tournament rules. I'm going to put a lot of credibility behind this. I'm going to put some weight behind this, I guess. I've been talking this year about some rumors about next year. Several organizations, not to be named, will be moving to probably 1750. That might end up being a true thing. This might be given a little bit of credibility to it, especially with all this stuff going on. Official rules, official tournaments starting to pop up. When they drop this, Games Workshop loves the 1750 tournament because it is very convention and event friendly to go at a lower point total. It allows for give plenty of time and makes for some amazing displays for armies. And I know it's not a popular sentiment or opinion, but there's a lot of truth and validity behind it. I'm sorry you might not like that. I am a mixed bag. I do like the idea of 1750, bring it down, but I can understand the 2000. It's a weird thing to be in, weird position to be in. So combining with all the rumors that are going to start, I would give it about 2 to 3 weeks. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, you are very likely going to see people talking about it. It's going to pop up. So next year, either at the launch of a new edition, if this does happen, remember, rumor, salt, maybe a little garlic salt in there, maybe a dash of pepper, just to keep it spicy. New edition next year, and then either at launch or shortly after, based on their current their current process of releasing stuff like that, we will see a new edition with the or not a new edition, but shortly after that, we'll see the tournament rules. Their official tournament organized play rules, which is cool because they might, I doubt it, but they might start pushing out some of those organized play kits we see for Warcry, Underworld, and Kill Team. And hopefully Aeronautica will have a really cool one. So that is my Jello level. Yeah, let's go with my Jello level rumor. So I don't know what you guys think about it. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this and you're like freaking out, yeah, you heard it here first. So go ahead and chat, scream, yell, rage, like it, don't like it. Just do me a favor, guys and gals, hit that subscribe button. Ooh, did I get it right? Yeah, hit that subscribe button. If you're an Amazon Prime member, make sure that you take just a moment when you have some free time, hit the subscribe button, and you can follow the link and get a free 1-month subscription from there. And it really helps us out. And if you want to pay for a subscription, great, because that's just money's going to go to the studio, which we're enhancing. We've got some ideas for soundproofing it and new lighting. I am definitely sick, guys and gals. I'm definitely sick. So sorry about this if I'm burping and turning my head away. So that would go towards that. Now, if you're here on Twitch, jump over to our YouTube channel if you don't mind. Let me go this way. YouTube. I don't know if it's really this way. It could be this way. I don't know. But go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Jump on just any, maybe even the most recent video, and just leave a comment. It helps promote the channel. Get your friends, family, loved ones, no ghost accounts to help start promoting the channel. Ski does have a AOS show, FNP_Ski, that's going to be coming out at some point in time. He's working on it. Like I said, Ski, Ben, Jonathan, TJ are knee deep in school, work, and family life and all that jazz. So when they're going to be on, it's up to them. I'm no pressure for them to get back on. I've got the helm for now. So eventually, I don't know where I was going with that. Forgot where I was going with that. I have no idea what I was going to talk about. So just anyways, jump over there, like, subscribe, do in a chat. We'll respond when we're able to. If we can't get to you right away, we will get to you. We will chat back and forth with you. If you're over there, come on over here, like and subscribe. We're going to be doing some contests in the very near future. Oh, that's where I was going with their channel, Ski's channel. I'm going to be doing my own personal channel. I'm not leaving FNP, but I will be connected with FNP, my own personal channel. What's it going to be about? You're going to have to wait and see. I am going to do some special launch programs or launch prize support and gifts for when I hit certain milestones over the next month or two, or at the month or two after I launch, as a thank you to everybody. You'll just have to wait. I think I've covered everything. Tomorrow's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. If you're coming out to the Atomic Hobby Shops charity tournament, remember it's going to be 2 regular ITC missions, 2,000 points, Toys for Tot donation. If it's a $5 minimum Toys for Tot donation, you get a raffle ticket for a special prize. And also, you can buy as many $1 re-rolls as possible, as much as you want to spend on all that money, plus a little bit of the tournament entries is going to go to a veterans charity, because we look out for our veterans. And if you've registered by 11 p.m. on Friday, that's tomorrow, you will be getting a special gift tailor-made for you. So what's it going to be? I can't tell you. But it is going to be pure joy. You're going to like it. I think that's all. I'm now just kind of rambling on. So thank you guys for chatting with us. Cart and Denner, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody that's been watching, I really appreciate it. I got to go because I've definitely let this go on for about 7 minutes longer than I needed to. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, and, oh no, not Saturday morning, Sunday morning.